So today is about offering our presence to the world. And I think, Barbara, what you said so beautifully from my favorite Sufi mystic, my favorite mystic anywhere, that it's about this world, this life is about contractions and expansions and being in the process. And it's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about you and me learning how to be present and show up in the world no matter what's coming at us, because we know something better. We know something more is at work. We can't offer our presence to the world, our light, our love, whatever you want to call it, to the world, unless we connect to it and reveal it within our own lives. We can't just expect to turn it on without cultivating it and practicing it. Matthew Fox, he's a defrocked Catholic priest. Do you know why? Because he said we weren't born in original sin. We were born in original blessing. And then he got defrocked, yay! And he became an Episcopal priest because we're born in blessing. We're goodness inside. He knew that. And he said the problem with all life today is that we have forgotten the sense of the sacred. We've gotten way too materialized in the world today, forgetting that we are spiritual beings having this human experience so we can learn and grow and remember who we are. And that's why we're here. And he reminded us of that. And I thought about that for a while, and I remembered why I remembered COVID, I don't know, but it came up. And I thought about when we just were getting out of COVID and how we ended up staying a community together because everybody stepped up. There was a ministers' meeting down in Seaside at the Centers for Spiritual Living in Seaside, and we all came together for the first time. I mean, it had been a dark time. And Edward Villon, who is minister up in Santa Rosa, he was the spiritual leader at the time, and he gave the most beautiful, unifying message. It was so beautiful. And one of the things he read just popped up on my computer yesterday, and I thought I'd share it. And it's by a beautiful activist and a child advocate, L.R. Nas. She has 6 children, and she wrote a book called 2,000 Kisses a Day. I just love the thought of that, and she's really an advocate for kids, raising the best kids we can. She said, we don't need to make a better world, we just need to provide a better place, better kids, so they can be in a better world. And she's great, but she said, do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things break, and all things can be mended. Not with time, as they say. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world awaits in darkness for the light that is you. The light that is you, the light that is me, the light that's everyone. There's not a single person that doesn't have the light of Spirit in them. Some of us just have it buried a lot deeper and deeper and deeper. I was thinking when I was reading this about how a muddy glass of water can be cleansed, but it needs to be repeatedly filled with clear, clean water. Ernest Holmes, throughout all his writings, says, don't let limiting negative thinking contaminate your consciousness, purify it. He doesn't always tell us how, but he tells us to purify it. We know how. Thinking good thoughts, reading good material, being with people we love, creating experiences in nature that just shake us to our souls, and listening to music that ignites us, whatever it is. Keep purifying, keep cleansing. We're not here by accident. Every single person is here by divine appointment. And our role in this world is to let go of the lesser and step into the greater vision, the greater good. Just because we are evolving souls, we need to keep opening up to something more. The habitual living and doing the same old thing over and over again and expecting different results. Okay, so we are here by divine appointment, and it's not just Ernest Holmes that talks about it. Carl Sagan, a renowned American scientist, astronomer, he was known kind of to popularize science in the 20th century. He said, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. And he says, humans are composed of stellar material, star stuff, stellar material, and we are sentient beings through which the universe understands its own existence. I feel pretty important to you. That's a pretty cool thing. Jesus said, we must be lifted up from the earth. And what he was talking about, Jesus to me is not my savior, but he's the greatest teacher. And if I believe we could all live by the words of Jesus, he had such a commitment to the purity of love, and he knew that was the healing power in the universe, and he knew that everyone belonged to it. And nobody should be ignored. But anyway, he said we should be lifted from the earth, meaning we need to unite our human consciousness with the divine consciousness to lift it up. It's kind of like Ralph Waldo Emerson when he said, hitch your earthly wagon to a star, please. Reach for something better. It's available to all of us. It was Ernest Holmes that said, we are an individualization of the divine, and we are the way God knows and experiences itself. Wow, we should feel pretty good about who we are. We may have to adjust our lives just a little bit. We may have to adjust it so we feel a little bit better about ourselves and know that, we may say someone is human, but they're actually divinely made, divinely made. And what we don't use sin, but what people call sin is really misplaced goodness. Because goodness is what we are. And if we forget or don't really know or don't have the tools to understand, we can use that goodness in a not so good way. Does that make sense? A little bit of sense? Okay, I won't say it again. Nobody agreed with me on that one. Okay. Oh, well, Pema Chodron had a really good, I love Pema. She's a Buddhist nun, but she actually has a New York accent. She's so fun. But she said, if you're looking for certainty and stability, you're on the wrong planet. I like that one. I said, I could relate to that. And I say this one often, but about Hafez, our other loving Sufi mystic, 14th century Sufi mystic. He said, we're in the right place. We're all in God's classroom. We just have to stop throwing spitballs for a while. We have to start being better to each other. We really do. I think what we all want is balance. And if you think about, there's really only one life, and that life is infinite spirit. That life is God's life. That's all there is. But it's there for us to use in any way we see fit for our own learning, our own awakening. And some of us take longer than others, and that's okay. We're just all on our own path, waking up, to understand the goodness that's there for us. If you think about, and I know so many teachings tell us there's really only two emotions, love and fear, two destinations in life, love or fear. The Course in Miracles say every action we do, every word we speak is either an act of love or a call for love. I love you or love me. Either one. Two, love and fear. You can imagine when humans first came together and saw people they didn't know, the fear tribe would say, you're different, go away. And the other love side would say, oh, you're different, come teach me what I don't know. We can decide, and we have both tribes in us at all the time. All of us contain the love and fear always. But what we need to realize, I think, if we want to bring balance into our life so we can share the presence, if we want to touch that presence, we first need to recognize what I was sharing about. We are divinely made. We are limitless. There is a solution to every problem holds its solution. There's infinite possibilities. Creativity is what we are. That's why the world's so messy, because it's creative. Creativity is messy. So we are limitless. We need to realize that when we get stuck, we are limitless. It's there, it's the truth. And the second thing we need to know is that God, Spirit, is a presence. We're not going to open a book and intellectually know God. We're not going to go to a class and just intellectually know God, because God is a feeling. It's a feeling for each one of us. It's warm and colorful and pulsating and active, and it's alive. It's different for everybody. I experience the God bumps a lot, because when I get the goosebumps or the chills, I know that it's Spirit speaking to me. But not everybody does that. We all have a different feeling of God. When Karen Drucker was here, she was singing her song, and one of the lines in her song is, God is a feeling. She was talking about how that's what it is. We have to know that. We can't expect to understand it. It's way too big to understand. But it's perfect to feel and to sense and to know. So I don't know which way and how. Oftentimes it's going out in nature. It's working with little kids. It's being in love. It's a kind word. It's act of service. We can feel the presence of Spirit. Hold on to those feelings. We need to know those and hold them and turn to them when we start to forget. It's right there for us. And the last technique for us, I believe for all of us, in this crazy, busy, over-technical world we live in, we need to pause. Pausing, I would say, is that place right between where we're so self-absorbed in what we're doing or what we're thinking or anything that's going on, and being fully actualized in Spirit. Pausing is that place, the space. That space where goodness, Spirit, love, possibilities show up. It's when we can take a breath and hold nothing and let Spirit come in. And it doesn't just happen. We have to practice it. We have to stop during our day and just go, let go. Just let go. And feel the space. And pretty soon, I know from experience, you're going to want to be in that space more and more, because wisdom and light and goodness show up when we get there. It's important. Mark Nepo talks about ways to bring balance into the world. I'm going to need notes on this one, because there's 6 ways. I can't hold all of them here. Balance. Number 1, that we're not separate from each other. And Maya Angelou, she always says, she's up on her wall. Hi, Maya. She always says, we are so much more alike than we're different. Hold that. We're so much more alike than we're different. We have to remember that. Remember that. Number 2, he says, do the smallest task wholeheartedly. And that's sort of where I was thinking about the habitual living. Oh my gosh, we get in these habits that we just do things without really thinking. I'm making the coffee this morning. I don't make the coffee, Kirk does. So Kirk, I'm speaking to you, babe. But I'm making the coffee this morning, and it's so good, and I get to bring Sandy a cup, and it's so fun. It's been 26 years of that, so I know. We have to unite our outer life and our inner life. It's living from the inside out, and that's that pause space where we have the opening where the two connect. I don't want to give up my humanity. I love it. That's where we feel and touch and love and kiss and get angry and mad and cry and all that stuff. It's kind of fun, the whole thing. Then the other thing is, it was Tagore. No, it was the Bhagavad Gita. And they said, did I smush my hair? I'm sorry. I just got on. Okay. I don't know why I was doing that. It just was kind of crazy. But it's the Bhagavad Gita said, we will never arrive at peace when we live in the pair of opposites. So that kind of leads us to the place we have to just center ourselves. It was Tagore who said, I spend my life stringing and unstringing my instrument. while my song remains unsung. That's really sad. You know, we've got to be really conscious, intentional. I love when Nas talked about being intentional in life, to be intentional with your love and goodness and caring. It's important. But the last one, I think, this really meant a lot to me in the world today. He said, have the courage to bear witness with the same urgency that you see how things are falling apart. Have that same urgency to see how things are coming together. There's so much goodness going on in the world today, but it's being overlooked because we're focusing on how things are falling apart. Things aren't coming together. Things aren't working. But with the same intention that we do that, oh my God, did you see what happened today? Did you hear this? Did you see what happened today? The good news, the happiness, the joy. That's what we need to be focusing on sharing. Wow, so important for us. Jesus had a radical vision for love with no exceptions. He knew the love of God crosses all boundaries, every single one. So I want to just, I talk about, holding it all, bringing the balance. And that's what, when we bring balance into our life, is when we can come to the center of our being and we can express the presence in the world. If we're pulled off in either way, we're going to be not able to bring our full selves to the world. I'd like to read, I looked, when I read that quote from L.R. Nost, the quote that Edward Villion read, I looked her up. And that's when I read the 2,000 Kisses a Day, and that hooked me right in. And I read this thing she put on her blog, and I thought it was worth being shared. It's called In the Light of the Unexpected. It might be that day of week, or that particular season, or the darkest hour, when you've come to the end of your rope, when your dreams seem impossibly far away, when nothing seems to fit in its proper place, when the bed covers look like an inviting place to stay forever. This is not what I expected, you might say on this day of the week, in this particular season, or in your darkest hour. That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't mean it can't be worked out or be okay, or maybe become something better than you expected in time. Because it's not what you expected doesn't mean it's all turning out wrong. Because it's not what you expected does not mean it's all turning out wrong. Each time you open your arms, pick your battles, breathe through meltdowns, work through the upheavals, and spot the silver linings, and carry the weight that's too heavy to be carried. It becomes you. It becomes you. This life you didn't necessarily plan for is becoming quite beautiful on you. In these diversions from the path you imagined, expected, or hoped for, these are opportunities to see silver linings of your soul you didn't even know you had. But now you do. Now you do. Shine on, dear one. You radiate strength in the light of the unexpected. That's for us to know and us to do. So I'd like right now, just stand up, please. We're getting kind of something. So I just thought maybe we could just repeat something and get energized, movement, and come around, do a little something. So we want the light to show up in the world. We want to be the presence we're looking for. So this is what's written. It's a very short little thing by Debbie Ford. I just picked up her book called Your Holiness, which is on my bookshelf. And she, believe me, she found herself on the floor of the bathroom. She was so strung out. She just had come to the end, and she thought she was. She was hospitalized for a long time. and she found the light. She had the unexpected life and found the light. And she said, they're kind of long sentences, so you're going to have to listen, okay? I'm standing in the greatest and grandest vision of myself. You guys are really good listeners, my goodness. Okay. I'm basking in the magic of the universe. Drenched in the good vibration of God, drenched in the good vibrations of God's love. Hallelujah! 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 The light inside me is now turned on. Whoa, I need sunglasses. You're so bright, beautiful. Now, you're so filled with light. Just turn to somebody next to you and give them a little hug, okay? Just a little one. You matter. I'm glad you're here. You are important. You make a difference. Beautiful, beautiful.
Big hugs for the band.
I know together that we can change the world. I just say, thank God for all of you. Thank God we're in community. Thank God we're together. And so it is.